Welcome to the AirBox channel. My name is Eugene, and today we will talk about ventilation, an important problem present in country houses and apartments. The problems associated with ventilation are familiar to all of us. These are noise, precipitation, dust, cold, stuffy heat in summer. If you have pets or children at home, you cannot open the window and go to work, and so on and so forth. Everyone has already accepted this fact, but you no longer need to tolerate this. Today we will talk about how you can ventilate your apartment without opening the windows, and there is no magic. We will need a screwdriver, perhaps a ruler, a pencil, a knife, and most importantly, an AirBox Comfort valve. This is how it looks like in a packaged form. Now we will unpack it and see what we have. In fact, here is the valve itself. This is how it works. Everything is functioning perfectly. Further, the set includes two special sealing rubbers. Here they are according to the size of the valve. There can be no error. And of course, the valve installation guidelines. And the self-tapping screws, with the help of which it will be attached to the window frame. The advantages of AirBox valve is that it allows you to ventilate the room without opening the window, without putting it to the ventilation mode in a way we have it now. To do this, the valve is attached at the top of the window frame. We will tell you later how it is attached. Here it has a lever, which, as you can see, opens and closes the valve. You can independently regulate the airflow. That is, you can regulate it in a way just a little air will enter the room, or you can open it as much as possible. In general, whichever is convenient, depending on the season, humidity, and other indicators. First of all, we need to decide where we want the valve to be attached. It is recommended to attach it on top of the window frame. So let's say here. We will have it approximately in the middle of the window. There is no need for accurate measurements. It is enough to estimate what we will have as a result. After that, it is required to mark the main seal with a knife according to the valve size. The next stage is the dismantling of the main seal, aiming to replace the main seal with a thinner one, which is needed to install the valve. Here is a thinner seal, which has been made to fit the size of the valve, and it is inserted into the window groove where the usual seal was previously inserted. Here we have a thin seal. It is needed to form a gap after we install the valve, so that the valve can freely pass air, or hold it back. This completes the first stage of installation. Now we need to attach the valve itself. For this, as we remember, there are 3 self-tapping screws in the set. Here they are according to the number of fasteners on the valve. And here is a strip, under which there is something like double-sided adhesive tape to fix the valve before you start fastening it. So here is the valve and the adhesive strip. We initially glue it to the window frame. The main thing is to have everything exact here. What concerns size, it is something like this. So the valve has been put in. It has not been fixed yet, but it has already been positioned, and now we will start to fasten it. The valve itself has been fixed and it works fine. We have seen it and we have just checked it. Well, let's move on to the final stage. The next stage is that we need to change the seal on the window frame, just as we have changed it here, on the window sash. To do this, it will be necessary to close the window. Now please pay attention that, in no case the valve should be left in the closed position, just like this. When it is fully extended, because when we close the window, it will just break. Now you will see why. We are opening the valve. Here it is, as open as possible, and we are closing the window. So if we try to close the valve, it will not close completely. There will be a space left. That is, if we left it closed, then when closing the window, the valve would break. Then we need to mark the points where the valve is connected to the main frame. We need a pencil for this. This has been done. Here they are. Now we need to mark the points on the inner seal where it should be cut off. We will take a ruler and extend our marks using the ruler. Now, when we have made the marks, we need to cut off the inner seal, just as we have done this here on the window sash. The old seal has been dismantled, and we are making a new and thin one, needed for the valve. Just in the same way, this concludes the installation of the valve. Now we will check how it works. Everything is fine. What is the advantage of AirBox valve? Firstly, you can ventilate the apartment without opening the windows. To do this, simply move the valve lever to the position you need, adjusting the airflow. Secondly, the room will not be cold even with round-the-clock ventilation. In winter, with working radiators which are installed under the window, warm air rises up, gets mixed with cold air coming from the valve, and then goes up under the ceiling again. That is, you can freely put flowers on the windowsill and not be afraid that they will freeze. Thirdly, and not least, it is sound insulated. There is a simple example of this. If the window is in the ventilation or micro-ventilation mode, then the sound passes along almost the entire perimeter of the window. If the window is closed, but the valve is open, then the sound will pass only through a small opening. And fourthly, it offers protection of the room from precipitation, insects, and dust. Order an AirBox today and enjoy the fresh air.